Hello everyone, and welcome back to DMG. I love my GeForce 6800, but what I really don't love is the noise this little fan makes. And this is by no means an isolated problem. In fact, NVIDIA themselves made a parody video of how loud the fans were on their GeForce FX series, which was the predecessor to this card. It's a really, really funny video. But anyway, this fan is very loud and very whiny, and the 20 years of wear and tear on the bearings certainly haven't helped. So today, we're going to be solving that by installing a new old stock VGA cooler. This card comes from the days of pretty much every graphics card having standardized mounting holes, so you could find just coolers that would fit about 20 different models of card on the market. There were tons of these, but these Evercool ones look like a pretty good solution. They're not too expensive new in box. I got this for about $20 on eBay, so I'm really excited to finally be solving this problem that I've wanted to for a while. Unfortunately, it's one of those shitty boxes that you can't really get open without destroying it, which is a shame. I really like this box, and I wish I could preserve it better. Oh, actually, before we open it, let's take a look at the box. And so, of course, on the front, we've got a window to see the little cooler inside, and some awesome graphics. And on the back, we've got some statistics. So these are the card models that it fits. It fits most of the GeForce 6000 through 9000 series and a bunch of ATI X series cards. We've got this slightly unclear graph here showing performance and, of course, dimensions, speed, all of that. The English translation in this section is really funny. I'm just going to read some of these out to you. Formula 2 design with a bright silver shape to make fashion and conspicuous looking. I find that really funny. But luckily it's got instructions of how to install it on the back of the box as well. It won't be too complicated at all, but, you know, I'd like to not mess this up. I was really looking forward to this unboxing experience, but this box type has pretty much completely ruined it for me. These boxes are awful, as you would know if you've ever opened one. Oh, it smells like 2000s. That's amazing. Okay, good. So this little slip comes out, so we can save that to reference for instructions. We've got probably some very crusty thermal paste here. This tray, you know, it all smells very good. It's odd, but I like the smell of like old, new in box stuff. It's like the new car smell. This'll look cool on a shelf. And excellent! I actually bought one of these for this card because I didn't know if it came with one. Sorry, for this cooler. Because it'll be going in a system with a very old board that doesn't have many fan headers. So I actually didn't have a spare fan header. Because this doesn't plug into the graphics card, it plugs into a motherboard case fan. But anyway, with this Molex to a 3-pin adapter, I can actually power this now. This is heavy. The top of it is plastic. It's this like plastic glazed to look like metal, I suppose. We've got a nice little fan here that seems to have aged gracefully. The bearings aren't immediately scraping or loud. And here we go. I'll undo this cable and then we can get to installing it. Of course, can't get too carried away. Before we do that, we've got to take the old one off. So these old GeForce cards use these little pins on the back, and I think I might be able to push it out with a screwdriver. A pair of needle nose pliers is the ideal tool for this. No. Well, oops. That's very stuck in there. Good lord. So, I mean, good thing this happened to the old cooler and not the new one. Yeah, that is like permanently stuck in there. We actually don't need to get this out, and I won't try much harder because I don't want to damage the card. Nice. Okay, so there is enough clearance for the power delivery circuitry, and this looks like it'll actually cool the power delivery very well, because there are, I'm assuming the fan will blow through the fins and cool the power delivery. That is a lot less of a concern on older cards, as is VRAM cooling. I mean, you've got like 800 megahertz DDR2 and you're pulling maybe 60 watts, so it's not super important to cool power delivery and VRAM. You don't need like discrete heat sinks, but of course it still benefits from having some airflow. This doesn't look too hard at all. So we just use washers on these pins, it looks like, and once we have little rubber washers on all of the pins, yeah, then we just put the graphics card on. So this card has diagonal mounting holes right here that the original cooler used, but it also has these little 4 holes because NVIDIA designed their cards in mind, with these like type of VGA coolers in mind. So it's very nice that NVIDIA thought about the market for like third-party universal coolers and designed their cards like that. Oh no, I'm gonna have to punch through the sticker on the back. Doesn't feel like it's quite on right. Yes, there we go. Excellent. Then it calls for 4 more washers. And then I have to very carefully screw this down so as not to crack the die. Because of course the original cooler would be made with only this card in mind, but this one has to be compatible with a lot of different cards that might have different die heights. So I don't want to screw it on at an angle or too tight, because that could very easily crack the die. And that's definitely not something we want. This is not like a turbo ultra mega rare card, but these have gone up quite a bit in price since I originally bought this one a while ago, so definitely one I want to keep intact. There we go. It's a bit jank, but I love it. Here it is. Here's the guy. The screws aren't quite even, so I will keep going a little more. There we go. So that's about the best we're gonna get, I believe. Looks a little silly with the screws sticking out the top, but I love it. I love having one of these authentic older VGA coolers here. And, well, I believe that's about all I can say about the installation. It's time to go test it out. And here we go. I have it all hooked up to test in a system with an Athlon 64 processor. I have the fan hooked up to the 3-pin connector that shared with the CPU fan, and as you can hear, it's actually pretty quiet. I could turn down the speed even further, but I think this is a pretty solid balance between cooling and noise. I can hardly hear it at all when I'm sitting at my desk, which is a massive improvement from what it used to be like. This card used to be about all you could hear when you were in the same room. So let's go test it. To test this card, I ran through some of NVIDIA's very demanding 3D screensavers at max settings for about half an hour on loop. And the card didn't even get up to what it idled at with the stock cooler. So this is absolutely a fantastic cooler, that I have no problems recommending, and, well, I'd already seen what it could do from the benchmarks. However, I still couldn't resist the urge to try and push the card really hard with an ungodly amount of bots in Unreal Tournament 2004, and, well, it held up just fine. Again, the card never broke 60 degrees when playing Unreal Tournament 2004, and it would get into the high 80s with the loud and bothersome stock cooler, so this is absolutely a fantastic cooler that you should consider if you want to quiet down your GeForce 6800 or similarly aged card. But that's going to wrap it up for this video, so thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope this was useful or enjoyable, and I hope to see you next time.